Hello everybody, how are we doing? So this will be episode 10 of my Disney name tag, name badge series. I've acquired a few more badges that I wanted to share with you and have some updates on some badges when we last spoke in episode 9 that I had no idea where they came from. That said, I think I did a quick count. To date, not counting lanyards and other things, just basically badges, I'm right at about 214. So I'm starting to amass a pretty big collection, and I think I've started to hit a saturation point where I have to either wait for some new badges or I continue to search for some of the oldest, though I still have obviously the one of the more sought after ones, the original. You remember we talked about it before, but I got some nice new additions, so I thought I would share. So without further ado, here's episode 10. It's not a lot of new badges, but new badges nonetheless. Enjoy. As promised, this is a new one to the collection, this Daniel, again, the 100th anniversary. This isn't a name badge that is worn at any of the theme parks. I believe this is just one that's worn at the studios or perhaps Imagineering, but I believe it was handed out to all cast members. Let me show you the official 100th anniversary. I managed to obtain one of those. Momento. This here is the official 100th anniversary name badge, and the cast member got to pick their favorite character. I was lucky enough to get my hands on this one, Joe, and apparently his favorite character is Mickey Mouse. Now, also new to the collection, right next to it is Ken, that blue badge. I guess the cast members actually all vote in order to get that badge. Your fellow employees or cast members vote, basically saying how awesome you are, and assuming you win, you get that badge. So it's a pretty high honor, I think, for cast members to obtain that badge, and they're pretty hard to come by. But I managed to get one, spared no expense. Let's see, I've got one other new one, I believe, to show you. Let's take a look. So both of these badges are actually from 1983. This is when Disneyland did a massive refurbishment of Fantasyland. The one on the left is a VIP badge, and obviously the one on the right would be for the press for the grand opening in 1983 of the new Fantasyland. I think I've got one more new one to show you, so we'll take a look at that, and then we'll see what else we have. So that Kyra there, that is a name badge that's worn, or was worn, by the Reedy Creek District out in Walt Disney World, and that was a little government agency that used to do everything for Walt Disney World, and I'm sure, as many of you were aware, it was dissolved by Governor DeSantis a year or so ago. So I think those badges are pretty hard to find. Anyway, but let me give you some updates. There's a couple things that I discovered from our last conversation that I now have some answers to. So let's take a look. So way back in episode 9, we talked about this particular badge and not knowing where it was from. Well, it turns out it represents the Nature's Wonderland Railroad, and it was a badge worn by, I'm going to say, former cast members that used to work on the attraction, and they formed a group. They were called the Order of the Red Handkerchief. This is in 1985, and that was the badge that they wore. So pretty cool. Another one from episode 9 that I didn't know where it was from. I think I said it was from the 80s. Turns out, it's basically like 2001. The lower right by the nipple of the balloon, it should say Disneyland Resort. Mine is obviously rubbed off at some point. But I was able to get a couple of answers. There's one more I'll show you that I got an answer to here. Let's take a look. So that bad boy right there, we didn't know where it was from, and it turns out it's from the studios, and it's circa 1996. So all in all, not too shabby. So just sort of a recap, here are basically the Disneyland badges, from oldest to, we'll say, newest, I suppose. Here are the Walt Disney World badges. Again, oldest, at least what I have, to newest. Then we drift into, you can see the Tom Petty Experience, Pleasure Island, and the Reedy Creek badge. Then we drift into, I believe that's Japan. We head into Singapore and Hong Kong badges, not too bad. Got a couple of big boys down here. Let's go to our next chalkboard. So this chalkboard here is basically what once was Euro Disney and is now Disney Paris. Name badges and some hotels, and then we drift into the Disney Store, and then Disney Studios and some miscellaneous badges that you've seen before in previous videos. This one here is actually really fun and rare, that Carolwood Pacific. Anyway, let's go to our next chalkboard. So again, you've seen most of these before, but here's some Disneyland, the Little Monsters of Main Street badges, the Boo Crew and the Ghost and Ghostess, etc. There's a couple of Candlelight Pavilion badges I managed to get my hands on. And again, here's some more Disney Studios, some miscellaneous badges. Some are more rare than others, I would imagine. But a lot of fun. I've had a ton of fun collecting these. I think I've almost hit a saturation point on some level. Now our last chalkboard, up top here, these are Imagineering badges. Some of these are pretty hard to come by. Again, oldest to most recent. You can see in the second row to the right, you've got Galaxy's Edge and an Epcot refurb that was done. Pretty cool. These are some badges that guests could obtain Star Wars weekends and things like that at Walt Disney World. Drift down into some hotel badges, and then a couple of oddballs right into Disney cruise lines, etc. So as I was saying before, I think I've started to hit a saturation point. Now it's just finding the rare, which there are a few more that I'm constantly searching for and have yet to find, but I will. Anyway, hopefully you get a kick out of these videos. I certainly enjoy making them. Again, in this world, when you could be anything you want, you be kind, you be humble, and be forgiving. And we'll see you next time. Bye.